That's
you
enough
when
to
I
get
tried
affiliate status.
I thought there was one guy who was in for a few.
Yeah, I haven't checked in a
I
while
think
because
Greg
I'm not in
noticed.
charge of it. Yeah.
Honestly, like I
Sam, we don't
kinda,
actually stream enough for that. I think you have to like have it a certain number of hours streamed in a week or something.
like, what's that guy doing with his life?
Yeah, honestly, it's unwatchable. But
There was a
anyway,
guy who watched me play some game for like a minute, and I was like, "What are you doing, man?" I just asked him. I was like, "What's going on? You're the only one watching me play Dark Souls right now." I told friends that I was streaming, and you're the only one here. Just instantly harass my viewers.
That's the best way to retain them.
What's wrong with
Yeah.
you? Why do you like me? You fucking loser.
Did he answer?
Honestly, I think he left like 15 minutes later. I don't think he said.
Because you harassed him.
Probably.
every time you get a viewer, just ask them if they're mad at you. Just
Do you want to play catch? Just to every single one. Where do you live? I'll drive. Do you want to play catch?
all right. Are we all set up? Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
Cool.
Kinda stalling.
Nice. I respect that. So when last we met, you all traveled back up to Bryn Chandar and had a semi-awkward conversation with Duvesha Shane about your plans for the Sword Coast and the realm as a whole.
Who's Duvessa Shane?
Duvesha
Oh my
Shane
God.
is.
No, I'm joking.
I was gonna say. I think you know.
He's the leader of Bryn Chandar.
Yeah.
He was actually in the Lord's Alliance before, and now she kind of is somewhat aligned with the Harpers.
Wow, Cameron, you're so knowledgeable about this campaign. Holy shit.
Cam, do you want
I
to
think
read
we
the
should
next?
only let Cameron contribute tonight.
Do you want to read the next 60 bullet points?
That's literally like the second thing on the list.
I know.
Okay. So yeah. But ultimately, yeah, she is interested primarily in protecting Bryn Chandar, and you all have done that very well. So she trusts you, and so she is now heading down to Waterdeep to kind of drum up as many allegiances and allies as she can for you all. Meanwhile, you took a trip down to Hundlestone to meet with our good friend Thwip Ironbottom.
What a guy.
Yeah. After some shenanigans, you convinced him to get in contact with his boss, a woman named Moon Lord Daviana Yalranis, who then took you over to a place called the Shadow Dales, which is actually off this map, to meet with a guy named Elminster, who's actually the kind of important NPC here, really. Elminster is at this point basically ancient wizard. He's been around forever. He's a part of the Harpers, one of the leaders of the Harpers. And interestingly, to all of you, he knows Artis Cimber. Discussing once again your plans, kind of what your approach was with these giants and stuff, and realizing that you had some common ground. And then after some putting together a number of clues you've received over the campaign, you realize that the Deacon cult, who most likely took King Hecaton, as well as the Red Wizards, who probably helped them, were probably locating somewhere around the Red Rocks. So I see why I can't shift ping you over there. You went to the Red Rocks the next morning, where you found, sure enough, Saz Tom, who is the leader of the Red Wizards, his sort of portable tower there, as well as a curious ship, the Grand Dame, which Daisy recognized as a gambling ship from a place that she knows quite well called Yartar. So at this point, you kind of split up. Elminster went to talk with Saz Tom. They have a sort of old, bitter rivals, but like they know each other relationship to try to get information there. Felgalos, your dragon friend, as well as Count Thulin, your giant friend, were kind of just wandering around waiting to see if there's any help, and you all were going to investigate this gambling ship. As part of that, Mannequin and Breeze decided to take an underwater excursion, realizing that neither of them were able to hold their breath or didn't need to breathe, right? Did not realize that neither of them had any dark vision. So as they sank to the bottom of the ocean, they found themselves surrounded by a bunch of what appeared to be aboleths, which are these they're aberrations. I think I showed the art, but I'll grab them again. Aboleth.
In this brief period of lull, I want to defend myself by saying all of my last 10 characters have had dark vision.
Yeah, why would you? And also, okay, so yeah, this is what they look like.
I forgot how horrific they were.
Yeah. And they're pretty strong too, right? And so you found yourself surrounded by a bunch of them. I think Breeze protected you with a wall of force, kind of shaping it as a dome, and then used 10 minutes to cast water walking as a ritual. As these aboleths were literally slamming into the dome trying to get to you. You managed to make your escape, but unfortunately, Breeze contracted a disease from a bite that he got from one of the aboleths, which renders him, let's remind everybody of that.
Renders me fishy.
It renders you fishy. Actions. Here we go. After 1 minute, which it has been a minute, it took more than a minute for you to get up to the surface. Your skin becomes translucent and slimy. The creature can't regain hit points unless it is underwater, and the disease can be removed only by heal or another disease-curing spell of 6th level or higher. When the creature is outside a body of water, it takes 1d12 acid damage every 10 minutes unless moisture is applied to the skin before the 10 minutes is passed.
We can do that.
And with that, I ask, what would you like to do? I assume probably Mannequin swim more and informs everybody, and now you're Breeze is laying there in the water
Dead man's float, just
yeah, within shouting distance of the rest of the party.
Pretty shitty.
Felgalos and Thulin are there, but the Moon Lord and Elminster are not there at the tower.
Sorry, my audio got messed up. Hello?
Hello. I can hear you.
I didn't hear what you just said, if it was important.
Just that Felgalos and Thulin are there with you right now, but Elminster and the Moon Lord are not there at the tower, right? They went to go try and get information from Saztom.
We arrived here the beginning of the day, right? And we know that the gambling ship leaves at night.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you left pretty early, right? And it was teleport, so there wasn't any travel time. So I'll say it's about at this point 8 in the morning, and you would suspect probably the ship would leave maybe in the evening. So I'll say you have about 12 hours before the ship leaves, just to give it a nice even number.
Should we all pose like we want to go gamble?
Right. Are we going onto the ship posing as gamblers? Are we just going along with the crowd? My thought is I need to get to a cleric or something to cure this disease. Otherwise, I have to take a bath every 10 minutes. Doesn't seem
I could just spit on you if you want.
No, but yeah, but is this logistically if we had a water bottle, we could just.
I think I have to
I think it's a submerged thing.
I think I'm gonna go with probably fully submerged.
Any part of my skin needs I need to moisturize literally my entire body.
All right, I have a solution.
So if one of us gets a portable hole and fills it with water, nice, Danny.
Convenient.
There every 10 minutes.
It's advanced recovery. I use it for my tattoo. I have sensitive skin.
Here's my thought, right? Felgalos could maybe take me to, a nearby city that might have a healer that could fix me. And I can go into my ring. It's a nice master suite in there. It has a bathtub. I could just chill in.
What a convenient item.
You could just stay in the ring for the rest of the time.
Well,
just avoid all
for 6 hours. Otherwise, that would be what I would do.
Oh, you only have 6 hours in there?
Yeah. So it would basically be to get me to somewhere.
So is that a daily time limit, or is that at a time?
It's No. I can stay in there for up to 6 hours, and then I can't go in again until I long rest.
Okay. All right. I was wondering if this was like a hack kind of thing where you could just like hop out for a second and then just jump right back in.
Nah, unfortunately not. What was that? Oh, froze refreshing. So, I don't know, Felglos. You think you could fly me over to?
So math-wise, doing the math here,
The math never works out.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. How,
the one that, and it would still be tight, but you could try to make it to Thornhold.
well, how fast does he fly?
He can fly. If he's rushing, he can fly like 11-ish miles per hour. The rules in the
Not very fast.
DMG are loose.
Wait, so if that's so slow, then couldn't you just swim over to the coast of Thornhold?
No.
I can't swim 11 miles an hour. I can't swim for 37 miles continuously.
Well, I thought you were a fisherman now.
My skin's fishy. I don't think I have fins, but either way, I don't think a fish could do that.
No.
Get yourself a bolt electric scooter.
I perceived it like in the fourth Harry Potter movie when he eats the gillyweed.
That means nothing
yeah.
to me. You've
I think it's
done
less
nothing.
useful than the gillyweed because I can't breathe underwater.
You've alienated all of our listeners.
I just don't need to breathe underwater specifically.
Does this, out of curiosity, Sean, does this curse make it so you can breathe underwater?
No.
Or okay.
They do have another ability that makes that can make that happen. If all the obelisk things hit, they can turn you into full-on fish person.
Well,
Is that irreversible?
No.
No.
It would be. It's that the other parts are actually easier to reverse than this. This is the hardest one to.
The other slightly concerning factor is that I'm currently at 11 HP, so if I do try to go out of the water, I could instantly die.
So, okay, go into your ring, get in the bathtub, then how long? It's going to take Felgalos that long to get to Thornhold?
It'll take. Can you all see my arrow? Right?
So like a good 3-4 hours.
3-4 hours to get there.
What if I did it on my broom?
What's your broom's
I think
flying
it's
speed?
50 feet.
50 feet,
per
so it can
turn.
go.
I've never thought
It
of.
can
oh,
go.
I'm so sorry,
It can
this
go
one is-
about. I'll round up for you 7 miles per hour. So
7?
7, yeah.
That's even worse.
It is even worse. Yeah, your broom is not as fast as a dragon.
Who would have thought?
I thought
Dragon has a
11
flying
miles
speed
per
of
hour
80 feet.
sounded slow as hell. I was like, wow, Felgalos is kind of a...
That was where my
That
joke.
sounds well.
That was my joke when I was in DC. I got one of the scooters, and they go 11 miles an hour.
It's not that. I mean, it is like over compared to like walking, right? So you can, at least rules as written. I don't know enough about like overland travel to know if it's accurate, but you can go like 30 miles in a day.
I'm just figuring like wind currents.
Just looks so close to us on the map. It's shocking, but I believe you. Like,
Yeah, I mean, look at the scale. Look at the scale of the map.
Blast.
I mean, I'm saying it's doable. Make a history check for me, somebody. See if any of you know anything about Thornhold.
I'm good at history.
I'd say you probably know something about Thornhold. Let's see what you know. What was that? Okay, so Thornhold, it's a coastal fortress. It's like a big castle. It once was the property of an old, rich Waterhavian family. It also has been controlled by the Zentarim in the past. it currently is occupied actually by a bunch of dwarves by a clan known as Stone Shaft.
So would I know of any like religious temples potentially?
They certainly would have some more. They would have religious temples. It would be to dwarven deities, right? But dwarven deities can
magical
also
deity.
cast heal.
Yeah.
Did you say it's currently occupied by a water Davian family?
No, it's currently occupied by a dwarven clan known as the Stone Shaft
Good.
clan. And all the same kind of rules apply. You know, they are pretty reclusive. Right. So, but it's potential word. It's possible that word has traveled of your good deeds, especially with Tony.
If I know which deity's in there, I'm just gonna lie my ass off and say that I worship that deity.
Yeah. Let me. I'm looking up right now who they worship.
Could that be risky?
Well, if they won't,
Oh, like if they won't help you just out the gate.
yeah.
You see Darren's
Oh,
message?
God.
It's some vital
And if
info.
that doesn't work, maybe my patron.
Pray to Strahd, yeah.
I don't really know if my patron
Dear
cares
Strahd.
about me.
You've helped us once before. Who was it? What the hell was that
So
character's name?
it seems like they worship just the normal dwarven. Can't think of the word I want.
Pantheon?
Pantheon, yeah, there we go. So the one that you probably would want to hope for is her name is Baranar True Silver. I'll put that in there.
What's a cool name?
She is she is known as the Reverend Mother or the Mother of Safety, right?
The Reverend Mother?
The
What was that?
revered mother, the revered mother. I misread it.
Let's change it.
Is that a Dune thing?
Yes, it is a
Yeah,
Dune
it
thing.
is. It is. That's why I immediately like saw it and my brain auto corrected it.
Is her name Jessica?
No. Her symbol are two like interposed silver rings. Yeah. So that would be your best bet.
Wait, what was that brought up because of?
She's the dwarven deity of protection.
Okay.
And therefore would be probably the best bet for a cleric that would be able to cast such a high level spell.
All right, so here's what I'll do. I'll take 10 minutes and I will cast my newly acquired telepathic bond spell
Okay.
so that all of us will be able to communicate telepathically across whatever distance. And then
Okay.
Felgolis and I can go and see if this works.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
wait, how long did we calculate out? It's just a bit longer than 6 hours? Or around 6
let's
hours?
see. Let's do the math again, right? So
Well,
if
it'd
we
be
say we're
6
going
to 8
from
hours round trip.
Oh, 8 hours round trip.
why won't you let me
Because if so, that's within your time limit, right? And it's before the gambling ship gets back.
Also, this telepathic bond spell is not helpful. It only lasts an hour, so forget it.
well
Unless something goes wrong immediately.
goes wrong immediately, yeah.
But I'd rather save the 10 minutes.
I'm assuming you need to see the people to cast it on them.
30-foot range, yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, it would be real nifty if we could, like, set up a time and just be like, all right, communicate here. Tell us if you're alive.
Yeah.
Well,
Did the fish disease kill you?
Miriam, now, Breeze, you can shoot this down. Do you mind just like chilling on the beach for a little while we go deal with this ship?
Mm-mm.
But the ship's not going. Well, that's the thing I was asking. Like, if we're going on pretending to be gamblers on the ship, then we have time to kill anyway.
Yeah, because we have 8 hours. Or
Plus,
12
we have
hours.
to
until
we
it
have to
leaves.
take some time to find like appropriate clothing and stuff like that to fit in.
Right. So you guys could look for that.
We can do that.
stuff while in the meantime.
Because that'll leave us with 4 hours.
Wait, but so we're going to Thornhold. We're going to try to get clothing from a bunch of dwarves to fit all of us.
I think it was just me going to Thornhold to cure this disease thing.
Yeah, but
Well,
I guess
where
That
else
is a
everyone else
good
would
point,
find
though.
clothes.
You do need fancy clothes to get. Daisy would know. You do need fancy clothes to get on the ship to
Well,
fit
where
in.
do
At
we have
least.
Where
like
can we get-
an
where
illusion
can we
spell
get
or something that could do that? Because I don't.
know.
We could flag down a traveling merchant on the high road.
Yeah, like what's
You'd
that
have
little
to
green
get
guy
to-
from Zelda called?
Wait, let's just mug
Single?
someone who's going to go on
Yeah,
the
let's
boat.
Remember,
take
the
down
people that are
7
going on the
wizards.
ship are red wizards. Yeah.
Let's take down 7 red wizards quietly and take their clothes.
Sure. Let's go. No,
Um,
Guys, I just remembered when I was looking at my items that I have a pet mouse.
What's your pet mouse's name?
Fievel.
Henrietta.
I'm going Henrietta.
Get wrecked. You dumb
So okay, so are we? I mean,
Okay, so wait, how? You may have already said this, and I apologize if so. How strong are red wizards? I don't know.
it depends on the. They're a large organization, right? Saz Tom, I think Elminster would probably have informed you of this. Saz Tom is a lich.
Oh,
And then, but then there are. This isn't how Dungeons and Dragons notates it, right, as NPCs, but there are wizards all the way from 1st level to 20th level.
got you. Okay, so it really is a diverse.
Yeah. They do focus a lot on necromancy, but also conjuration and abjuration. Those are kind of the main 3.
No evocation around these parts. All right.
Do we know where the ship is going to?
The ship, the ship will typically ride along the coast, and then at a certain point, kind of halfway through the evening, turn around and come back to drop them off, basically at daybreak in the morning.
That is another
So-
interesting level to it. What were you gonna say, Ken?
I was just gonna say, so if we really wanted to, obviously time is a consideration, but we could just go somewhere, come back tomorrow.
I don't think we even need
I
to do
think we
that.
have the time though. We have 4 hours after Breeze gets back, and 8 hours while he'll be gone. That's a lot of time to find maybe some weaker wizards, maybe a group of acolytes.
Okay.
You know, from
So
Doom.
is our goal here to kind of figure out what if they know about Hackathon, like see what they know about them and Kraken Cult?
That was the impression that I got, but that's up to you.
We can look for other information too. I think that'd be a good thing to look for. You know.
Daisy has her own personal motivations with what's the guy's name? The main dude?
Caspier
Pardon?
Dryland.
Can you
I'll
put that in the chat?
Yeah, Caspier.
is that the?
He'll
the
never
captain
be
of
on the
ship?
boat.
Or is that the leader of the?
Hey,
That is, he owns the boat.
Essentially, like the important part of Daisy's backstory, how that's relevant here, is that she was in Yartar, kind of grew up on the streets, to say, but like not like crazy, but like kind of gambling, rough, ended up trying to like con a lot of people across this guy, lost a lot of money, tried to con him, didn't realize like the power. His cronies are on the town. She's kind of run out, which is why she was in the 10 Downs to begin with. So I think there's kind of a sense of like revenge or some kind of like restitution that she wants, seeing that this guy is back and she hasn't probably seen him in years and years and years, and she wants like her pride, I guess. But also
This is
she's
him.
a scared. I mean, look at that guy. He's fucking creepy.
I feel like he looks like the guy in a cartoon that would be the center of the comedy trope of a really scary looking guy being friendly.
I agree.
Clearly, that's not who he is. But something about that face and like the facial hair configuration Just sounds like he'd be like, "Urgh," and then you're like, hey man, and then he's just like, oh hi.
And can you remind me why Yartar pertains to him?
It's just where
He's just from Yartar.
Okay.
He's the
Daisy,
ruler of
you
the
would.
High
I think you
Council.
would know he, over the years, has made multiple attempts to try to become what's called the Water Baron of Yartar.
Are you just? Is this Dune? Is all of it Dune?
I don't know.
I feel
Dune
like
is
everything
very
you said
influential.
this session has just been like right out of Dune.
And the Water Baron has control. There's the this is where Yartar is. There's like this river that goes through, right? It has basically control of all the trade on that river.
He's an asshole. I don't like him.
Yeah.
He drove me out of my town.
I-
Yartar's running deep with his cronies. And I'd like to hit it where it hurts, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Do other people? Can other people see Dan? By the way,
Mm-mm.
No.
no. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't like.
We miss you, Dan.
I assumed after he said his computer was messed up, he just
Yeah.
was struggling. How much
type.
do we have any reason to believe that the Red Wizards would have any information on Artis Cimber?
Kind of this. I mean, the one thing is the same reason why sort of Elm has a relationship with both of them. I mean, there's sort of this. There's this group of these ancient wizards that have had a lot of say in the shaping of the politics of this continent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dan, try refreshing one. Oh, I see you.
Sweet.
Cool. Yeah, so they probably would. They certainly know of each other, right? Would they have any useful information? You don't know.
All right, fair.
You would also, I do want to remind you though, if you go in there and you mess with them, you are messing with a lich. So,
Yeah,
You
but
know.
like,
oh, well, you know, you're more
So-
than welcome to, but you just have to be careful.
I'm not sure, based on like other like fantasy knowledge, I don't know if it's the same in D&D. Is the thing with the Lich where like they give up their soul or something for power or something like that? Where like they
Pretty
give
much,
up part of their-
yeah. They're undead, ancient wizards, essentially.
But what is a soul? You know, at the end of the
It's
day,
mannequin.
I
Whoa.
feel like I'm a guy. Do I have a soul? What are we even talking about?
Breeze is still just
what
laying
is
there in the
consciousness?
ocean, like
You know,
Well,
while we're on a
like,
limited
so-
time frame, while we only have
I mean-
12 hours and also kind of 6 hours,
yeah.
I just want to question, what are we? What are we all? Have you
I'd
read
like
The
to-
Stranger? We
I mean,
got
I'm
there.
not like good work.
All right, I'm so sorry. I'm horrible.
At a certain point, I will say, like, if you want to get this all done, though, you are going to have to commit to a plan.
All right, I think my best idea is that we send Breeze off to go get the help he needs, and we start looking for good, weak target wizards to steal the clothes of.
yeah, because the plan is to crash this gamble boat and party.
Word. I like
Question.
this. This sounds like some fun shenanigans.
Are the wizards of varied race, ethnicity, or are they?
Let's find out.
That's a good question.
Yeah, if there are no dwarves, then like
mi-
I don't know what the fuck I would do.
They might be suspicious of a weird faceless wizard dude.
We'll clone you, Dan, and put you on top of your own shoulders.
They are pretty much exclusively human.
Ah, damn it!
We could.
Alright,
I also just
leave.
realized that I'm a mannequin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's Mannequin going to go incognito?
I didn't consider it once up until this moment.
Hey,
could
wait,
try
new
going,
idea,
you know-
new idea.
That's
We
exactly
act like we're staff.
All right. What if we just be like, hey, we're trying to gamble, and we heard that the boat was here, so can we like party with you guys and just do it that way?
Seems
Would
like it's a
Daisy have any
private
knowledge
event.
about the exclusivity of the patrons of this boat? Like who's allowed on and who's not? Or is there not really any restrictions?
Caspian Island is incredibly interested and obsessed with appearances, right? So if there's physical room, which in this case there probably would be, the ship can hold more than the number of wizards that are on this island. So if there's room and you're appropriately dressed, he'll take your money.
All right. Well, then I guess we don't have to be disguised. We might just have to watch the questions we ask as to not.
And it also
Draw too
might
much
depend on how the
attention.
conversation goes with our friend
Yeah,
who's over talking to the leader of the Red Wizards.
yeah. You would
Yeah.
Elminster's plan is to purposefully not like mention any of you at all, to try to give you as much time, like, right? If something goes wrong, he doesn't want to implicate you in it at all.
So we don't have to disguise or anything. We could just be like, "Hey, we want to come gamble."
Yeah, if you
We
can
got
get some
coin.
fancy clothes.
How much
feel
money
like-
do we have?
How much money do you
adamantium
have?
Armor
I don't
fancy
know.
enough?
Did we get any like money or resources from Bryn Shondair before we left?
We can say you
Apparently-
probably.
I have
gold.
324 gold.
I have 230 gold.
All right, we're good on money. We
I have
have a lot of
50.
money.
I think you can afford fancy clothes with 500 gold. Yeah. Although you do also are probably going to have to make a donation to the church, Sam.
All right. Well, I've got 50 gold.
I can give you. I guess that's a lot of money.
Yeah, for just a casting of a spell, 50 gold is like.
Let me see.
I forget.
Heal,
like, the
unfortunately,
scale of
doesn't
things
have
sometimes.
any material components, so there isn't anything there that you're gonna have to. So I would say 50 gold is enough.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
Even though it's a high level spell, there's no like cost to them. So.
Yeah, it's just for the goodwill.
I always forget how much money D&D characters actually end up acquiring. Like
Yeah, because it doesn't make any sense.
because you're just like, oh, I have 324 gold, and it's like, what's the weekly salary of like an average worker, like copper?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh wait,
Well, the top 1%.
I was
of
about
the
to say
top
we're
1%.
the worst. We are what the world should hate. We are just imposing our will on everything, just collecting obscene amounts of wealth.
Cameron, what were you gonna say?
I have something called the disguise kit, but I don't know.
Something.
Oh,
You
so
could
do
probably
I.
do something with that.
It says I have a pouch of cosmetics, hair dye, and small props that lets you create disguises that change your physical appearance. What's your ruling on the? It's called an artisan's tool. It's classified.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't think it would. I'll say you could outfit one person with it. Depending on the amount of disguising that you want to do, you are gonna have to make a check, and the check will be easier or harder, right? Like if you want to make Mannequin look like a fancy nobleman, right? That's gonna be a lot harder than to make like Breeze look like one, essentially.
Mhm.
But I'll say you could outfit somebody with a disguise kit.
I also have one, so we can do 2 people.
So that's 2.
I feel like I would want to disguise myself because I have a history with this dude.
Yeah. You wanna look like somebody else for sure.
I
Can
feel
I
like
just
if I can get nice clothes, I can do. I don't need a disguise for myself, but I guess I could try to get Danny's face at least to look like a human being or something. Or we could put some sunglasses on him.
I think we have to do that, right? I don't think at this point there's any choice. We have to try to disguise Mannequin here for
We can do like a weekend at Bernie's kind of thing.
Yeah.
Except I can move.
Except you're not dead yet.
Wait. There's a clear strategy. We attach string to all of my limbs, and then the entire time someone holds a marionette thing.
Oh my god.
Because that's not suspicious anyway.
Just be like, "Hi, I'm Kankuro from the Naruto series. How are you all today?"
I like that a lot.
if that's what you want to do, I mean, I'm not going to stop you.
How low key can we be with string?
Yo, I'm tiny. What if you like wore a hood and I like sat on your shoulders and I could like ratatouille you? You know what I mean?
I
Well,
don't know why, but the movie Ratatouille has come up in my life like 10 times in the past.
Ratatouille is iconic.
See, the thing
That
about
would
it
be
is
so much fun.
gravity-wise, does that make sense that you could possibly sit on something and be marionetting it?
Well,
Listen.
no, I think Josh's idea got rid of the marionette concept.
I would be using his hair, dude. Haven't you even seen the movie?
Okay.
He would
okay,
be
okay.
controlling me, and then I would be the
I would
body.
hit I could hit like pressure points on his scalp to trigger different nerves.
You know, all the pressure points in wood.
In wood,
Man.
yeah, exactly.
That rat really had an intimate
carve
knowledge
buttons
of that
into the
man's
wood.
body.
There were some real good bits on it in the podcast / radio shows I was listening to. It's
All
classic.
right, so it seems like we're starting to get that side of things covered. Is anybody going with Breeze and Felgolas to Thornhold, or is it just Breeze?
I feel
I
like
think
we
we
should
should-
send someone.
I was gonna say,
Because what if it goes wrong?
maybe-
I can go
Maybe
with since I'm
Tony.
a dwarf. And
Yeah.
then I
That
can
makes
also-
perfect sense.
I can try to buy fancy clothes for everybody in the city if you guys want to give me money.
or at least for the short people.
Word.
Cool.
Have some money.
I
How
drop
much would
you
you like?
some money.
How much money should I give you?
I don't know how much clothes would be, to be
I'll
honest.
say probably, you're looking, to look your absolute best. I'm going to say for the entire group 100 gold.
All right.
Do you have Cash App?
Bro,
I'll just
I haven't left yet. Just give me 20 gold.
I just say I have a fair amount of cash and I drop the full 100.
Oh,
Ooh.
High
Thank you,
roller.
sir.
You're going to do
belong
well.
in this
You're
shit.
going to do well on the ship, yeah.
Oh, watch me make millions, friends. Watch me make millions.
Do it. Do it.
I'm gonna day trade.
I was talking with Danny today about how he's definitely going to fall into a gambling addiction because he's going to think he's smart enough to game the system.
Oh, that sounds
And then
really
I talked
accurate.
about a time that without any knowledge of day trading, I legitimately convinced myself that I would become wealthy from day trading. Don't know a thing about it. I'm just like, I'm smart enough. I'll figure it out.
Oh God.
Once it
All right.
becomes like life or death, and I'll just have like next to nothing, I'm gonna have to figure it out.
All right. So Tony and Breeze and Felgolos are gonna take off for Thornhold at this point. I'll ask really quick because I think it'll probably be quicker. People that aren't going to Thornhold, what are you doing then in the we'll call it 6-8 hours or whatever
See, this
until
is
they
what I
get
just
back?
started to consider, because I realized now that our plan of mugging red wizards has gone out of the equation. We have to figure out a new task.
Yeah, maybe we can just.
You can think on it. You can think on it. We'll handle their situation and we'll come back to all of you. So go ahead and brainstorm whatever hijinks you want to get up to. So Thornhold, like I said, it's a coastal fortress, right? Sort of the classical image of yeah, you guys can use that. The classical castle on the rocks on the cliff kind of idea. It's also, you can see it's connected sort of to the place called the Mere of Dead Men, which
Good thing I'm a dwarf.
it's true. It's true. I think it's just like a creepy little. It's a it's a saltwater swamp.
Gross.
So at this point, it's kind of you've done this in Iron Master, right? You've been through this many times, Tony. Like there's sort of, there's the big gate and the guards, and they're eyeing you suspiciously because you've got at this point a halfling now, Felgolos's form, and you're like, why couldn't you have been a dwarf? But he likes halflings. But then also Breeze, right?
Right.
As you approach. And so a guard, female, red hair, steps up kind of in your path, sizes you up and goes, what business do you have here in Thornhold?
Well, this is the closest and highest form of civilization I could find. I was hoping to heal my friend here. Breeze, are you in the ring or are you outside?
I think I'm in the ring.
Okay.
Because if I go outside, then I have 10 minutes before I
For 10
possibly
minutes,
die.
you're in
Right.
trouble. So you're still in the ring.
All right. So I was hoping to heal my friend. He requires attention. He has a curse.
He has a curse.
Yes.
What nature of curse would this be?
Well, to be honest, I'm not too adept with Arcana. So all I know is that he has to stay wet. It's not
I'm
contagious.
sorry, what? He has to stay wet.
It's gotta stay in water. It's
Haven't
like
you
a
heard the
curse of
song?
fish. I
Oh
think
my
it's
god,
called.
Danny.
What? Where Ben Shapiro at? That dumb idiot. And his poor wife. Alright, I'm done.
Madness. Where were we? Oh yeah. I'm sorry. So your friend has to stay wet. Otherwise, what happens?
He'll marry Ben
I assume
Shapiro.
whatever happens to a dried out fish. My understanding of it is he has to live as a fish until the curse is lifted.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm gonna nail this.
They think I'm just some crazy Florida man.
The dwarf like leans in really close at this point and then backs up and goes, but still in like a whispered voice, "Is it contagious?"
I assure you, it's totally uncontagious.
Can I see them?
No, they've got to stay wet, and they're inside this. I like pull out the ring, show them my fingers. They're in here,
ring.
staying wet. Can't take them out.
Okay.
No, I can hear what's happening. I don't think I can cast spells that
If you
affect outside.
if you want to come with, you can see them when they pop out of the ring to get healed.
That's a good point. Here, let me go. And then turns and like and pulls the chain, to open the gate up. And there's another guard that's there that's just staring at this in disbelief the entire time. But they aren't going to say anything. So yeah, they'll lead you to, and I think they immediately would know that the place to go would be the Temple of True Silver. And there's a large there's an arch, and then at the top there's the symbol of these two silver rings attached to each other.
Cool.
Inside, the temple is actually quite well rated. The rest of the area is, it has this sort of classic medieval feel, the gray and silver stone, kind of that dull, messy thing. But inside is pristinely clean, and on shelves all around are these sort of glowing white flowers.
Nice.
As well as in vases with these silver gems. And curiously, the cleric is not a dwarf. It's actually a gnome.
Huh.
And they walk up. They have short cropped hair, and are wearing like white robes, but also then on the side there is that silver, those two silver rings. And the guard rushes up and excitedly is like, "You are not going to believe this. This guy says that he's got a friend in a ring." So first of all, step one, right? Step two, right? Apparently they have some kind of curse where if they're not in water, they have to be a fish, a bed. They have to stay wet. And the gnome is
That's
like,
correct.
the gnome is just not along there like, yeah, it sounds like an aboleth, right? Like, yeah, I've seen
one
some
of those old timey math beads.
Yeah.
Exactly what happened to him. Yeah. I'll knock on the ring and be like, "I think you're good to come out."
All right,
Like,
I'm
to the
gonna.
gnome will be like, are you good to heal them? Obviously, I'm gonna be a patron of this church.
Yeah, yes, of course. I mean, I would never want anybody to be doomed to such a miserable existence out in the sea.
Thank
All
you.
right, at that,
Math
I'm gonna
sucks.
pop on out of
Pop
the
out.
ring. I'm covered in all these like slimy scales and stuff.
Yeah,
You see this
slimy
starting to
scales.
sizzle with
And
contact
like,
with the air.
yeah. And there's this little like you as you hit the ground, there's just this little as the water kind of pours off of you.
I look at the guard.
How long does heal? I think heal is just an action, right? So this
Yeah.
is going to be very anticlimactic. The gnome, they walk up. They're obviously pretty short, and so they motion for you to like kneel down,
I do it.
and then they kind of like feel, and they feel like the scales and sort of the wet, slimy nature, and kind of like recoil for a second. But then they come in, and then they just give you a little forehead kiss and cast
Oh
heal.
man.
Nice. And so then my skin goes back to the normal, like pale, translucent blue that it normally is.
Yeah. And they're like, "Oh, I thought that was like the blueness was like part of it."
Nope, I think it worked. This is just my normal look.
Well, thank
Well,
you
that's
so
pretty
much. Man.
cool.
It must have been gross to kiss him while he was slimy.
Hey, all in a day's work.
I give him 50 gold.
I hope
You're the
to
best.
that we
Thank you.
will see you in services maybe under less dire circumstances.
Yeah.
I hope you
Yeah,
both
that'd be
have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you
too.
so much.
All right. Time for a shopping spree.
Shopping
Yeah.
spree. Yeah,
Let's
okay, now
go.
I'm gonna go over to the other group. This is Sam's gonna remember this from Critical Role. You guys get to scheme about what cool outfits you get for everybody, I guess. Let's read what the fuck everybody else was up to.
I tried.
Well, I mean, we were all trying.
I'm
you know,
gonna read your suggestions.
please
All right.
do.
Let's go on a Wizard of Oz quest for Mannequin to get a brain and a heart and whatever that third thing was. A diploma, maybe.
Danny, you typed "Life is nothing, time is everything. We are all just biological computers ticking away until the inevitable end."
And then I tried to come up with a plan. Actually, yeah, no.
He had
right
the
after
idea to maybe eavesdrop on a Red Wizard conversation. Okay, idea. But then I was also thinking we should fully consider what our angle is with mannequin number 5, because I assume if we had longer to procure a disguise for his face, that's better than if we were trying
Yeah, I
to
would
make
give you
30
advantage.
minutes.
I say we procure berries as face paint. Now here I am, just fucking.
I mean, we have disguise kits. I assume that has some kind of paints in them.
Yeah, that has like makeup
Every
and
disguise kit
stuff.
has berries.
Josh, what's your current feeling? Are we embracing the fact that mannequin is a weird, like faceless piece of wood, or are we trying to make him look like a person?
Sam's idea isn't terrible.
What is?
Like, just pretend I don't have like an actual consciousness.
Oh, we could do the whole. He's like our butler kind of thing, or like he's like our butler kind of guy or something like that.
That's what
Okay.
Sam was just saying.
Yeah, we can do that.
Like we don't have to disguise him because he's not a person. Like he's just with us or something like that.
This isn't good.
As degrading as that kind of is, though. If we were to disguise him, I'd say, like, I can think of it going in two ways. Either we disguise it really well and it's fine, or the wizards see that it's this constructed mannequin and are either really interested in that because of the cool magic, or maybe they know it's the work of like Artist Simber or something like that. I wouldn't necessarily think it's like a horrible thing for him to be in there as just a mannequin, but because like that could be like a cool distraction or something. But at the other hand, like I know we kind of have a reputation already, because at least in the 10 towns, because like we do some cool shit. And like, how many talking mannequins are there? So like, if they were to like recognize Danny, they'd be like, "Oh, wait, look who it is."
I do think an advantage lies in that the only time we were even near this place was on a straight shot down to Waterdeep, which keeps us pretty inland.
That's true. We probably like.
And
I
like
mean, they may have
especially,
heard of us, but not seen us.
but I think especially, like, I would imagine the Red Wizard. Not all of them, obviously. I imagine the people in charge have a fair amount of information, but like, I imagine the insulation of the community probably excludes a lot of people from just knowing people in the outside world. Maybe I'm wrong in that, but like without like TVs and shit. No
Would any of us have
CCTV.
that kind of knowledge?
Yeah, I'm just making assumptions.
I like assumptions.
Trying to use the old noggin. Really just let things fall apart. Otherwise.
I mean, you also like. You don't even have you don't have you could just hang out on the beach. You could have a nice beach day.
I say we just
It's a jam
see.
session.
I see we just see the possibilities of how much you could possibly disguise a mannequin, and if it doesn't work out, we'll go with just making me a mindless construct.
All right.
All right, let's see what you've got then. Is
All
it
right.
Cameron? Are you gonna try to?
Sure. What's the check gonna be?
So it's gonna be an intelligence check.
Just general.
Plus are you proficient with the disguise kit?
Yes.
Then okay, so it's gonna be an intelligence check plus your proficiency modifier.
Okay.
This cat is so fucking.
And I think my modifier is 3.
So a 19.
Jeez.
So, what are you trying to make mannequin look like? Like, describe to me.
So,
I guess I'll leave it to the artiste.
I guess sunglasses aren't a thing here at all, right?
I don't know. They can be. It sounds like you want them to be, so sure.
So maybe like sunglasses. I do feel like Danny. Is it just a flat front? Is there any shape to where the nose is or anything,
Nope.
or is it just flat?
No, that's kind of the issue at hand. He is a plain, like smooth wooden mannequin.
You've got a prop
Okay.
nose in your disguise kit.
Okay, we could do a prop nose, or we could try carving down his entire head into being a smaller head that looks kind of like a person head.
I'm gonna have to ask there. I would have to go back to Danny and ask for consent on that one.
Wait. What was the thing? I'm sorry. I got distracted.
Carving down your head to be a smaller head that's shaped like a proportionate real head.
As
I would
soon
also-
as
it would
Nemo suggests
probably-
this, mannequin realizes for the first time how much he values his
Aw.
shape, and it's just like, no, what? No.
Okay, I'm glad to have provided you with that beautiful revelation.
I've like no. You
Okay,
psychopath.
you know, let's just go disguise nose,
This is
sunglasses.
my body.
Yeah, okay, we're past that.
Oh God. All right, disguise nose.
So I guess the
Glasses.
mouth
This
is
cat
the
will
big
kill you.
trick.
Yeah,
The mouth
yeah,
is
yeah.
the big trick. Is there any kind of
She's
face
just purring.
covering that can be considered socially acceptable in public? Like depending on like what type of person. Like, is there like a burqa?
I think so. Yeah, probably. Like if you were gonna pretend that that mannequin comes from that you all come from like the south in Kalimshan or something like that.
I could put on some desert garb.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
good.
Because Dune is a desert planet. But yeah, I don't know. I think something that could cover me up would probably be a great idea.
Okay, yeah. I think the mouth is the biggest thing that we need to avoid. We'll go
For sure.
nose and maybe we'll paint on a little rudimentary mouth in case it slips off for a second. But yeah, the nose and sunglasses, maybe a little painted on eyes underneath. Those are the priorities. And then a wrap.
Okay.
This is gonna be the most interesting thing.
Well,
There
let's see what the reception's like when everyone gets back, and if they're like, guys, this is a no go. We just wipe it clean and then we go in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the idea.
Okay. So, all right, Sam and Dan, what have we got here? Let's read what you've got.
We didn't really.
That's okay. I mean, the answer can be just like sort of like normal, the standard fancy clothes, kind of like an old fashioned suit, almost kind of thing. The closest major town is, I guess, Waterdeep, and Waterdeep, style-wise, is known for using a lot of like deep blues and that kind of thing. So if you wanted to get anything with that would probably be if you wanted to pretend you were from Waterdeep. I mean, something like that, or you can just kind of get generic stuff. And then are you getting a servant outfit or mannequin? Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Or just regular
yeah.
stuff? I'll say
Well,
probably,
let's get
you know
both.
what?
So
Yeah,
that
get both. You can get
we can
both with the
decide.
amount of gold that you have.
And I want to get something blue that's like very similar in color to my skin, because that would be funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go that monochrome streetwear look.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
And then
Hype beast.
All right. And then we'll say, so yeah, and then you fly back on Felgalos. At this point, about we'll say 8 hours have passed, including the going into the city and stuff. With the clothes.
thanks, Douglas. I'm sure that was tiring.
Yeah, Felgalos was going as fast as he could, right? Like, and so as you hit the sand at the beach, it's like, all right, I've done my job. I'm taking a nap.
I'll make him Leoman's tiny hut for him to sleep in.
Yeah. So mannequin, you don't recognize it first from a distance.
I'll be like,
but
who's that?
As you approach, I mean, mannequin, so you know it's mannequin. Right?
That's not a good sign.
But it could work.
Hearing it's mannequin despite the disguise, immediately terrifying. I think we should go with construct servant.
It's right on. It's like right on the edge, right?
Like real
The
uncanny
other thing is
valley.
like on the ship, you are going to be in pretty close proximity, right? So that people are going to get an up close look at mannequin.
But they probably have some pretty dark mood lighting in there. Right?
See, but here's
That's true. That's a good point, Cameron.
See, but I also thought casinos are bright always to make
That's
the
true.
illusion of daytime and
I feel
staying
like
awake.
casinos are always like semi like in the middle light wise.
That's fair.
Okay.
In my 5
we're
minutes in
gonna
a
go-
casino once.
let's leave it up to mannequin because if you feel more comfortable with the construct thing, we can do the construct thing.
I just think that seems safer.
Yeah,
Like
we got you 2 outfits.
There, it's just being like just not reacting. In the other one, it's just like it's all dependent on random factors.
Yeah.
I can't control if other people notice my makeup.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If we put you in
Agreed, I
this like
guess.
servant looking thing, then you can just kind of stay quiet and
Maybe try to
close.
listen where I can, keep a low profile. Maybe
I
go
really-
get drinks.
I really
I feel
shamefully
like
wipe
people
off
tend
the
to-
makeup that I applied.
I feel like people tend to ignore the help. Like, they might talk as if you're not in the room because they don't think you're actually a sentient being.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's true.
I walk like C-3PO now.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, so
Translate this for me.
the last thing I'm going to ask then, before we actually do get to finally things happening and going on the ship, that you would all probably discuss is, so the ship's going to be gone for like 12 hours, right? Are you planning on trying to stay on the ship for 12 hours, or are you trying, like, you know what I mean? Like, what's your exit plan?
So I feel we definitely need an exit plan, but I think knowing if we're going to stay on the ship or leave the ship, we have like no information to make that decision right now.
That's
But
true.
I also think that having an exit route is definitely necessary because I think there's a fairly decent chance. Like, I don't know if it's likely or like maybe not likely, but I don't think it's like I don't think it's like a rare occurrence in if you did this 100 times that we would not run away.
Did our
Yeah.
did our guy come back from talking to the Lich?
No,
Not yet.
not yet,
I'd be
at
dead.
least.
I would
At
say.
this point,
I mean,
at this point, right, it's starting to we'll say it's starting to get closer to like dusk. You have not heard anything, and you haven't seen them. Felgalos wakes up from his nap, and he does like a sweep of the island. At this point, most of the fishing boats have already left actually, because they want to get back before dark.
Are there any
Um,
windows to this?
I'm sure it has life rafts, like our lifeboat, maybe that we could steal.
Like, because he's in like
Yeah.
a tower, right?
Yeah, it's a really tall wizard's tower. There are small windows periodically, like sort of rotating around. But not anything that would be big enough to climb in. But you could, if you wanted to fly up there, I guess Sam or Felgalos can look.
I was thinking look in. I don't think
Yeah.
we're really in a position to risk going in without any knowledge of an interior. But
Felgalos will do a quick sweep, and I'll roll an investigation for him. Select, please. Oh, he's on that layer. Foolish. Okay, he rolled a 20. He goes all the way up the tower. The tower is pretty tall. It's probably, there's like maybe 30 or so floors. It's hard to tell because the ceilings might be, different heights. But it's definitely pretty tall, and he spirals around, kind of like peer, and he'll occasionally sort of gently land on the side of the tower and peer into one of the windows, right? He reports back that the entire tower seems empty. There's just wooden floors, no furniture. It seems dusty, like nobody's been in there for a long time.
There's no way, right? That's got to be some sort of illusion.
It's definitely, I would hope so.
Well,
Otherwise, we might be, we might have been duped.
yeah, my immediate thought was like some kind of like door early on that's just like a gate, like a teleport gate or dimensional thing.
or you walk in the building and then all of a sudden it's not dusty and empty and you see all the stuff,
Mhm.
See, that's weird because now my immediate thought is maybe we should try to get in this fucking tower.
So, Sean, I didn't really think about it, but like I wear armor all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with that when I'm wearing fancy clothes. So can my fancy clothes be like big flowing robes or something? So they just go on over?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thanks.
Be cautious about bumping into people.
Also, partially just for the easiness of not having to constantly remember that your armor class is lower than normal. For the sake of easy book. Yeah.
Oh, that's where Mannequin has an advantage.
An advantage for sure, yeah.
My
Yeah.
no armor 20 armor class.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, and I can shield too. It's great. The sorcerer dip has become pretty much solely for the armor class and shield. I very rarely cast spells. Sometimes they're helpful, but most of the time it seems like those are the two things I'm doing with it.
Felgos is like, I mean, he is like a super powerful wizard, right? Like, we should trust him. He told us to
I feel like super
investigate
powerful
the ship.
aren't necessarily known for being like super nice people.
No.
I think the gambling ship comes first. If we can't find him or hear anything from him, we got the information we know he thought was relevant, or at least had a chance to look into it.
We don't need
And-
to take any significant action on this gambling ship either. We can just go and chill for the night, you know?
True.
There's no
Yeah.
reason why we have to do it all today.
Yeah, no, we definitely don't have to like make waves. But I think by tomorrow, if we haven't heard anything, we should definitely at least try to do some more extensive digging. Maybe even try to see if we can pick up anything tonight about the tower specifically.
So we have a little bit of time before the ship supposedly leaves. We should just kind of hide out somewhere and wait and see if people come out of the tower because the wizards are supposedly going on this boat, right?
Yeah.
So if it gets time for the ship to leave and no one is even like getting on it, then forget it. We can do something with the tower. And then if all of a sudden wizards start coming out of the supposedly abandoned tower, then that'll answer that. Right?
Makes sense to me.
So let's just like scout out a bit,
Yeah.
find a spot to.
We could ask Felgalos to monitor that if he wasn't going to be coming with us on the ship, and we could still do the gambling ship.
I think regardless, Felgos' plan was to sort of stay out of sight, but like circle the island and kind of monitor both situations. And that way, if Elminster needs help, he can come and maybe get you. If you all need help, maybe he can find Elminster, right? Like,
Oh, also, Sean, can I have short rested, like
yeah.
in transit?
If not, certainly you have more time here that you can wait.
Yeah,
So.
I'm just gonna use some hit dice.
Is that the plan then? You're gonna wait and see if any wizards come out?
Yeah.
Okay. About an. So at this point, it's dark. It's completely dark out. It's about.
Wait.
Oh, go
I have
ahead.
a question real quick. What's the point in waiting for it? Didn't we already assume there were wizards in there, and we were going to the gambling ship to get more info? Like, what difference does it make to us if they were using an illusion to make us not see them? If they are there,
The issue is, what if it
an
isn't?
illusion, or are they actually just not there?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like an illusion is one thing, but it could also be maybe like a teleportation circle. Or...
But like, okay, whatever method that is, like, if there are wizards there, that's the same as our assumption. If there aren't, don't we still want to get info from the?
But you're assuming that
there's no
the
reason to go on the
gambling
ship
ship-
because we're going on the ship to get information, eavesdrop on wizards,
Because it's like gonna be a carefree environment, like.
and we could just scope out the spooky wizard tower instead.
Okay.
I'm thinking that maybe the tower is legitimately empty and the gambling ship itself is an illusion.
Well, I guess we'll figure out soon.
Yeah,
I'm gonna use more hit dice.
because that would be fun for no reason.
So I will say at around 9 p.m. ish. Sure enough, you're kind of staked out to the side. The wooden door to the tower creaks open, and then a line of mostly elderly men with gray hair, kind of like almost the mad scientist kind of look to them, right? Are walking down the beach towards the ship. There's probably about 20 of them. They already seem, maybe a little bit like they pre-gamed it a little bit.
Nice.
So there's kind of like this strange dichotomy of like, like what you think of as like this mad scientist, evil wizard type, but like just hanging with the bros.
Mhm.
The old folks love their slots.
Science party.
Yeah.
But what?
And they
Let's do
are,
some
they're
math.
walking down towards the ship. And so I don't know what's going on with Josh. But let's take a 15-minute break here, and then we'll see if maybe, because I want Josh to be around for the gambling ship, obviously. So
Yeah.
we'll see if I can troubleshoot that with him, and we'll go from there.
All right, awesome. I will
Cool.
return. And all my homies, they don't check off the body, they call. I'm sorry, I got glass stuck in my hand. Yeah, I'm fine. I have a rag. I pulled it out. Alright. Fun story. So, I was pulling out the banger of the dab rig to get reclaim, and when I was turning it, it just broke in my hand. So, I had 3 pieces of glass, like tiny little pieces stuck in my hand, and I just used some tweezers and pulled them out. And everything's fine now. I thought you were gonna say, "Is this haven't you broken your banger before?" And I was gonna say, yes. The answer is I've broken 3 bangers over the course of quarantine. Hmm. It was quartz. But yeah, I should probably get a metal one at this point. Clearly, this whole things that are shatterable thing just really isn't working for me. Oh, it's been a horrible time. Okay, I will start the stream back up, and we can. Actually, wait 1 sec. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I was really hot.